Good morning everyone and welcome back to Peak Wildlife Park. It's Lucinda here and we are going to be joined by Liz today. Today is our training Tuesdays, so we're in our lemur walkthrough at the moment and we're going to be doing some training with our black and white rough lemurs. So Liz has just got Olive out at the moment, so we're going to be taking a stroll over there to see what she's up to see how our keepers go about training our lemurs. So we're going to make our way over there and see the techniques that she's using. These techniques obviously you guys can use at home on your pets, and you can see that how our keepers use them here at the wildlife park and why we use them. Before I head over, I'm just going to give a few shout outs and say hello to a few people. So we're joined by Kerry, Jeanette, Gaynor, Yvonne, Laura, Vicky, Elaine, Graham. Thank you so much for joining us this morning guys. Hi to Tammy, hi to Teresa, hi Michelle. Thank you very much all for joining us. If you've got any questions about our training as we are going, if you'd like any guidance, any breakdown of how you can use this at home, then please just pop it in the comments. If anyone wants a shout out, so good morning to Susie and Lily, hi to Helen, hi Sally. If anyone would like a shout out, then please pop your name in the comments and we will give you a little shout out this morning as well. So we hope everyone's doing okay in lockdown. Olive's actually coming to join me here this morning. She's got a little bit distracted. She wants to say hello to the camera. Olive. Good girl. So we will start. I think Liz is just getting the sheep out of the way so they don't get involved in the training either. They can be a little bit distracting. So hi to Gwen and Fionn in South Wales. Hello to Eleanor, Henry, Annabeth and Nathaniel. Thank you for joining us. So we are going to make our way over and hopefully the sheep don't come over and distract the whole thing. So Liz is here now. So she's just going to get Olive back over. Oh, and we've got a sheep.
Come
here then.
She'll realise in a second, go running back to the others.
So good morning to Liz as well. Good morning to Bev. A special hello to Alan, who adopted.
I've got nothing for you.
Hi to June and Ken. Good morning to Jane and Onkert. Hi to June, Jane. Thank you so much for joining us. So my first question to Liz this morning is, why are we training our lemurs? Why are we training our lemurs?
Yeah, so we train our lemurs as part of husbandry really, so part of their care, so it makes it nice and easy for us to get a good look at them. Sorry, but it gets them kind of up and moving so we can have a good look, we can move them to different areas of the enclosure, and it's really fun for them to do as well. I do want to make a point quite early on. Obviously we are training our lemurs, and this is the kind of training you can do at home, so you can apply a lot of this at home, but it's important to remember that lemurs are not pets. So lemurs are wild animals. We're here training our lemurs as part of a conservation programme. We're a wildlife park, and obviously we've got these as part of a breeding programme, so we can provide them with everything that they need. But it's important to remember, lemurs do not make good pets. They are in a lot of trouble in the wild, unfortunately, and part of the reason is the pet trade. And unfortunately, lemurs have been stolen for the wild to keep as pets, which is absolutely awful. So just wanted to put that out there. Lemurs aren't pets, not made for kept as pets, but a lot of this you can apply to your pets at home, so like your dogs, your cats, all sorts of pets can learn from training. So we're just going to do a bit of target training with the black and white rough lemurs. So if you have been to the park before, you probably know that we have two black and white rough lemurs. So we've got Olive, who's here, and we also have Ty. Now Ty is the most dominant lemur, and if she was out at the moment, she would take over the entire session and Olive wouldn't get a look in. So I've just popped Ty inside with some of her breakfast, so we can do a bit of training with Olive, and then we'll swap over to Ty after. So we can give chance to have a go.
So what is the end goal with this training? So obviously you're doing target training to begin with, but what would we like our black and white ruffs to do eventually?
Eventually we'd like to be able to get them to obviously follow the target around the enclosure, potentially follow them into crates if we ever needed to do any veterinary care. Hi. On our animals, and they can follow a target into a crate if we need to take them to the vet. That'd be super helpful and obviously not very stressful for the animal and for us. We would also like them to... Are you taking over this hand?
I think she's taking over the whole thing.
Sheep training, really. We'd also like them to hold on the target. So you'll see what we're going to do. We're going to get Olive to touch her nose to the target, but we want to get to a point where she can hold the position that she's in, so she can hold with her nose on the target, and that'll allow us to get a good look at her to make sure she's nice and healthy. If you can hear that whistle, that is our pigs going on a walk at the moment, doing a bit of recall training with them. Training's happening everywhere.
So if some of the guys at home wanted to begin some training with their pets at home, so how could this be applied to dogs and cats?
So the principle we're using is positive reinforcement. So we've got some nice tasty treats. So get your pet's favourite foods and something that they really want to work for that's really high price. So for example, I've got sweet potato and beetroot because they absolutely love that. It's one of their favourite foods. And we are rewarding good behaviour. So anytime that she does something well, something that I want to do, she's going to get a treat. So you can apply that at home if you're teaching an animal anything, to be honest. You want to be rewarding them so that they know they've done the right thing and it's a really enjoyable experience for them. And what I'm doing target training, you can do at home as well. So this is literally a stick with a play ball stuck to the end of it. So you can make something like this. You can make any kind of target, and you can follow along. Hi, Olive.
Just come and say hello to you all. Tip the camera down. What are you doing?
So if any of you watched our training live last Tuesday with the alpacas, you might have seen Yaz doing some clicker training. So she was getting the alpacas to associate the sound of a click with getting a food reward. Now our lemurs already associate that, so we've done that part of the training, so we don't need to go over that again. Olive knows that if she hears this click, she's done something right, she's going to get a treat. So what we are going to do is we're going to get her to touch the target with her nose. So every time she touches it, I'm going to click and then we're going to give her a reward. We aren't going to reward her if she grabs the target with her hand, because that's not what we want her to do. We'll just simply ask again. And when she does the correct behaviour, we're going to click and reward. So we might have to follow her around a bit because she is going for a bit of a morning stroll. So we'll see how we get on. We might get the sheep following us as well.
Let's go for it.
Our breakfast.
So remember guys, if you've got any questions, if you want us to go over any bits, then please just ask us in the comments. Say hi to a few more people as well. So hi to Maggie, Sarah, hi to Julie, June. So the sheep are coming to take over again.
Right, so I'm going to hold the target out in front of her and we're going to see if she can touch it with her nose. Target. Perfect. So you can see she touched the target straight away. So I've clicked and then I'm giving her a reward. So we don't have to immediately give the reward as soon as she hears the click. If she hears that click, and as long as it's followed by a reward after, then that is reinforcing that behaviour. So as soon as she touches her nose, we need to click back straight away so she knows what she's done that's good. So it's important to get the timing right on this. Target. Yeah.
So if people were starting this from scratch from home, how long would you say, with regards to the clicker training, going back to the first step that we carried out here, how many times and how long would you say that they need to carry on that clicker training?
So carry it on for as long as the animal starts to associate that click. So if you're obviously clicking and rewarding, if when you start clicking they are looking to you expecting that reward, then they've learned that association. So it might take some animals longer than others. Our lemurs picked it up pretty quickly. So yeah, just wait for that kind of signal that they know when they hear that click they're going to get food, so they're looking to you for that food. So it varies between animals.
She's like, come on, guys.
Sorry, Olive. Target. Try again, Target. What are we doing, Olive? Olive, Target. Good girl. Remember, we're not rewarding her for anything that we don't want her to be doing, so if she's not touching it, she's not getting that click.
So we've got Julie asking, how old is she?
Olive is 19 years old now. She's not quite our eldest lemur, so our eldest lemur is one of our ring-tailed Mary, who's 22. But yeah, she is at quite a great age for a lemur, so out in the wild they normally live on average about 16 years, so she has obviously surpassed that. Good girl. And then her daughter Ty, who will come out in a bit, she is 15 now, I believe. Olive, Target. No, we're not grabbing it. Target.
So you can see patience is key with training. Just be very patient with them.
So she grabbed it, but I did click. So I am going to reward her because I don't want her to lose that association. So that was my mistake. I shouldn't have clicked because she grabbed it. So it's a learning curve for us. It's getting that timing right. There we go. So if you do need to go back steps with them, so you can see that I'm kind of moving the target round, but if Olive isn't responding to that very well and she's getting a bit confused, I can go back a step and literally put us right in front of her so she can touch it straight away. So when we first started doing the target training, we would put it, wait till she's finished eating, we would place the target right in front of her nose so she'd just touch it straight away so she can learn that association between touching the target and getting that reward. So sometimes they might need a bit of a refresher on each training session. Good girl.
So as Liz says, we're hoping to go on to use this for crate training. So obviously our animals still here. Our animals here still might need to go to the vets at some point. So we wanted to get our lemurs trained so that they would just happily go into a crate and just walk in themselves. And this association with the target training is a good step forward to that. So Liz could eventually place a target inside of a crate. Is that the sort of next step you'd take? What would be the next step?
So the next step with Olive is getting her more consistently touching the target. As you can see, there are times when she's not touched it when I present it in front of her. So we just need to get her up to scratch on that, get her moving about the enclosure a little bit more. So if she's there, I could go over there with the target and she'd follow me. So I'm trying now. Target. Good girl. So yeah, it's just getting her up to scratch on that target, and then we would introduce a crate in and get her targeting around the crate so she can get nice and used to it, and then yeah, eventually starting to move the target inside. Target.
Good morning to Rebecca, thank you for joining us. Hi James, hi Angela. Remember guys, if you've got any questions, if you sat at home wanting a shout out, if you sat at home with your breakfast and a cup of tea, then let us know what you're up to. So remember, every time you're doing training with your pets at home, just be very patient with them. Give them time. They will get there in the end. So as Liz said earlier, obviously we've already started our training with our lemurs. So it didn't begin like this. What was it like when you first started training?
They did really well, to be fair, because we've got nice food. They are really motivated for it. So what we had to do was introduce the target first so that they weren't wary of the target, because obviously it's a new object in their enclosure. And it does take them a while to pick up that association between what I'm doing and what I'm getting a reward for. So it is about patience, as Lou said, and going at the animal's pace. If they start to get a bit frustrated, you don't want them to not enjoy the training. You want it to be all positive. So at the start we might have had really short sessions so that the animal wasn't getting frustrated when it wasn't sure what it was getting rewarded for.
Would you say you've got any tips for anyone?
My tips would be keep it positive. So if the animal, if you think they're starting to get a bit bored of the training, then end it. Always end on a positive note though, so don't end with an animal not doing what you want. End on a good last target, and then we always give a jackpot reward at the end so that they know the session is over. So that can be either a really, really tasty treat, or I'll give her a good handful of this food and she can enjoy that, and then she'll know that's it, I've done the training and I'm getting a nice big reward now. But yeah, a lot of it is patience, going at the animal's pace as well, reading their behaviour as well. Like I say, if they're starting to get a bit frustrated, you don't want that, you want everything to be enjoyable for them. Yeah, I think learning your animal what they want to do and make it all fun.
Can hear some whistling in the background. I think that's Mike doing his morning cleans.
You can always see Mike before you see him. So we'll do a few more with Olive, and then we will go and see if Ty wants to have a few goes. We'll get her moving round up and down this platform for a bit, and then I will give her a jackpot reward so she knows that she's done well. Are you coming up?
So Kerry is just asking, what kind of tasty treats do you have for her?
So we've got beetroot and sweet potato. They're some of their absolute favourites. Where are you going?
The long way round. So Eleanor, age 9, is asking why are their tails so long?
So they use their tails as a kind of a balance really. So as they're walking across the ropes, or if they were walking in trees, they'll have their tail right up in the air and it acts as a counterbalance for them. A bit like a cat, so their tail will be swishing side to side, can counteract their body weight. So their tail is longer than their body length, so yeah, they do have a really long tail. They can't use it for climbing. Olive, target. Good girl. So they can't grab onto anything with their tail because the tail's got no muscle in. It is just bone and fur, essentially. Right, should we do one more and then we'll get Ty? Target. Target. You're not feeling that. Target. Good girl.
So as you can see there as well, guys, Liz was taking away the target. So obviously she doesn't want Olive to associate the target being left there, and she can sort of take as long as she wants. So she's taking it away and then starting afresh, so she can get that clear association between the target and the clicker, and then the reward.
Yeah, so you probably see I've given her a nice pile of beetroot and sweet potato for her to enjoy, so she's going to know that that's it. I've got my big reward. She can enjoy that, and then we can go and move on to Ty. So we'll see how Ty is feeling, whether she wants to do any sessions. So it is all up to the animals. If they don't want to partake in training sessions, that's fine. It's up to them. There are times when maybe they're not really feeling it, and we can kind of pick up on that quite quickly, and we know that it's not going to be a helpful session if the animal's not quite in the mood for it. So that's absolutely fine. We can just try another day. Right, so I'll go see if Ty's ready to come out.
So whilst Liz is going over there, I'll say hi to a few more people that have joined us. So hi David, hi Kit, hi Jenny, hi Sam, hi Abby, hi Louise, hi Deborah, hi Danny, hi Pauline, hi Jane, hi Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us. If you've got any questions, remember, then please just pop them in the comments, and we will answer those for you. But a big reminder to everyone that is joining us, as Liz mentioned earlier, although we are giving you training tips, these tips can be used for your pets at home. The big message from us is that lemurs, they're just having a little squabble. Sorry about that, guys. So this is the reason that she wasn't let out. So what I was saying before Ty came over, is the big message from us is that lemurs should not be kept as pets, but you can use these tips for your pets at home.
Are you done now? I was just asserting her I'm going to say that Olive. So just reminding Olive that I'm in charge. I get what I want, basically. So all that vocalising was actually Olive essentially saying to Ty, yes, I know you're in charge, I'm not doing anything. It sounds quite aggressive, it's not, it's completely normal. But especially in the morning, Ty likes to kind of do her rounds, make sure everyone remembers that she's the boss. Are you coming back, Ty?
So that was the main reason as well. So we did Olive's training first, so she could get a good go at it. And then obviously letting Ty out so Ty can now have a go.
Yeah, so Ty is obviously, she's making her rounds, so we won't start training just yet. We'll just wait till she's going to be fully focused on training, or else it's not going to be a very good session if she's quite distracted. So we'll wait for her to come back over.
She's checking everywhere out,
Yeah.
making sure she's happy with everything. Come on then.
So we'll start training with Ty, so she's come back over. See if she wants to have a go. Target. Good girl. Going by some sheep as well.
The sheep have come back. Hi.
Hi. Very distracted this morning.
So Gwen has absolutely loved this. She adopted Olive for Christmas. That's very cute.
Olive is very, very sweet. So Olive and Ty, they're a mother and daughter, but they're complete opposite. So Olive is really quiet-natured. She's very lovely. She likes to just sit back, watch the world go by. You'll usually see her just sitting somewhere with really wide eyes, just watching what's happening. Whereas Ty, because she is the most dominant one, she just has to remind everyone that she is in charge. So although it's really mean, if she stopped doing that, if she stopped displaying and reminding everyone, then that gives another female the opportunity to take that spot. So she does have to be on top of her game a lot. Ty is very clever, so if you bring pushchairs and bags in, just be careful of where Ty is, because she has learned to associate that people might bring picnics in bags and pushchairs, and she has been known to steal food that she definitely shouldn't be having, so she's quite crafty.
Sheep are checking out.
To come back to us.
Checking out the station, see if they've left any food behind.
You coming back, Ty?
So Jane's saying that she brought some food boxes. Thank you so much. It means so much to everyone here at the park for you choosing to support us. So thank you so much for that. Emma's saying a lovely start to the day. Thank you again. Ty's decided to come back now. So as we were saying before, obviously it is completely up to the animal if they want to take part in this training session. So as she knows she gets some yummy treats, obviously she's come back now.
This is what you get with working with animals. It doesn't always go how you want it. So you just have to work around the animal. You can't obviously force it upon them. If she's not feeling it, she's a bit distracted this morning, then that's fine. That's what you get. But what we'll do is as soon as you come over one more time, we'll do one last target and we'll give her a big reward to signal, okay, that's it. Because we're not getting very far. So there's no point trying to carry it on.
So Julie's just asking as well, how often, I cannot speak, how often do we train them?
So we try and fit in as many sessions as we can a week. So ideally we want to be doing like 3 or 4 sessions a week. We do like to keep them short and sweet, so like 5 minutes is really the max. But the more we can do it, the more we're reinforcing that. And as I said, animals go at different paces, so what takes an animal a week to pick up might take another animal 3 or 4 weeks to pick up. So doing the sessions often but keeping them quite short is good to keep them kind of knowing what behaviour they need to do. She has actually gone inside one of the houses now, so she obviously doesn't want to carry on, which is fine. She just wants to go back to bed, I think.
She keeps popping her head out,
Yeah.
checking. No, I don't want to come back. I don't think so. So we've got Jane asking what kind of lemurs they are.
So they are black and white ruffed lemurs. So often lemurs are named after what they look like. So they are black and white and they have rough fur. They have a really thick coat because out in the wild they spend a lot of time in canopies. So they need that thick coat to keep them nice and warm. We also have ring-tailed lemurs in here. We have black lemurs and red-bellied lemurs as well. So they all look slightly different. And yeah, quite often lemurs are named after what they look like. So our ring-tailed lemurs, as you can imagine, have rings on their tail. Hi, you back. Should we do one more and then we'll finish, yeah? Targets? Good, good. Right, so yeah, we'll give her a big reward and we'll end it there.
So as Liz was saying, we have got other lemurs in here, and again, we have just kept these guys in their house this morning, just while we do the training sessions, so that our black and white ruffs can concentrate on what they're doing without getting distracted by other things going on.
Like Ty.
Like Ty getting distracted by everything this morning.
Yeah.
Running back off.
So with the other lemurs, we quite often do a lot of their training in the house. Because we do have a large group of lemurs, we do have to separate them to train them so we can concentrate on one individual. So we often, with our ring-tailed lemurs, will have a section in the house that we use for training. And again, it depends on what individual we're training. Sometimes we do have to have two at the same time because some of our ringtails are a bit more nervous when they're separated from the group, and we don't want it to be a negative experience, so we might have two lemurs in together, and we kind of try and train them together as best we can. But it's all about catering to the animal, how they're feeling, how they want to do the training. So with all the animals on the park, it's always knowing about their individual personality, knowing about their temperament, and species as well. So like the ring-tailed lemurs, they are in a big group, they do like living in groups, so separating them can sometimes be stressful for them, and we don't want that. So yeah, it's kind of learning all about the animal that you're training. So like your animals at home, if your dog's a bit more nervous, kind of cater the training to that, or if they're quite excitable, you might switch it up a little bit.
So Sam is just asking as well, when are most lemurs energetic and active?
So lemurs tend to be the most energetic and active around feeding time, to be honest. They have a lot of naps during the day, so they don't tend to have a block of sleep like we do. They nap and then they're awake, then they nap and then they're awake, and they're just constantly on and off. And that does kind of coincide with feeding times. So they're obviously most active when they're going out and looking for their food. And then here, especially after they've had their food, after they've had their dinner or their tea, they have a burst of energy, and then they'll usually nap after that. They are small animals, so when they use all that energy, they do need to kind of recuperate, and they'll have a little nap to kind of get their energy back up. But yeah, definitely during feeding time. And I think the black and white ruffed lemurs definitely in the morning, first thing. So
Checking out the enclosure.
Yeah, holding the enclosure to make sure, again, everything's okay and everyone knows that they're in charge.
Perfect. So we will be catching up again with these guys in a month's time. So in the meantime as well, within that month, our keepers will carry on training with our black and white ruffs. So in theory, in a month's time, what would you be saying, Liz, is the sort of next step that we'll be taking?
So I'm hoping that in a month they will be really good at targeting. I would like them to be able to hold the position on the target, ideally. So when they're touching with their nose, I'll introduce the command hold, and they will keep their nose there for a couple of seconds, and then they'll get rewarded after that. So hopefully we'll be at that stage, and possibly also introducing a crate in as well. So what I'll do over the next month is I'll put a crate in their enclosure, either outside or inside, just to get them used to it, so they're not going to be wary of it when we start using that in training. Fingers crossed.
That's your target. So we'll see in a month's time. We'll see how you're getting on. So we will leave it there because, as Liz said earlier, our rough lemurs are pretty distracted this morning, patrolling the enclosure. Next week we will have another training session. So I think that is with our goats in the African village. As we were doing with our another big thing I forgot to mention, I've just remembered. As Liz said earlier, we did our alpaca training last week and we gave you guys the option of deciding what the end goal for our alpacas will be. So, from a post put on Facebook, it is agility. So our alpacas are going to be trained in agility. So keep checking in to see how we're getting on with that and how they get on with that. So our goats next week are going to be doing the same thing as well. So we're going to be doing some agility with our goats in the African village. So check back next Tuesday to see how that goes. And on Friday as well, we will have our breakfast show. So join us again on Friday when we'll be catching up and we'll be going into our otter enclosure. So something a little bit different. So check in to see our otters and meet all our otters. So thank you very much, guys. Say thank you to Liz as well.
See you later, guys.
Thank you. Bye.